'cause there will be a time. Oh, oh.
Hey guys, and welcome on in to another episode of Getting Well Libertarian Friends, free NHL picks. And we are going to look at tomorrow's slate. 14 games tomorrow, and a big slate before the All-Star break. Should potentially be a slate where maybe you should lower your volume of bets. But of course, I love so many games on tomorrow's slate that it was extremely difficult for me to do that. So a lot of plays incoming. We'll see how that goes. But usually it is best to kind of lower your volume on the day before break. But there's just so many good matchups that I have so many plays. Terry after dark. Technically not dark yet, but yeah, close enough. Canes -1.5. We are going to talk about that game, of course. Wait, no, LOL, 20 plays tomorrow. Not 20, but quite a few plays for me tomorrow, just with the prices and the situations, and depends on how today goes. Yeah, I'm already locked in now for Saturday. So we are going to start with the first game, which is a 12:30 p.m. Eastern game. Here in the Eastern time zone with the Boston Bruins -152 to -165, Philadelphia +130 to +145, 5.5s and 6s available in this game. We do not currently have confirmed goaltenders, as we may not have a lot of confirmed goaltenders for tomorrow. How have these teams been playing recently? Boston 6-1 in their last 7 games. 3 straight games under 5.5. Philadelphia has lost 4 in a row, going over 6.5 in 3 of their last 4 games. How these teams played against each other in the past? Well, it's been one-sided. Boston 11-2-1 the last 14 games between the teams, with Boston covering the puck line in 7 of the 11 games. 3 overs, 2 unders. 1 game finished with 6 goals. And as I said on yesterday's show, the Flyers are a team that I'm looking to fade right now. I think heading into the All-Star break, they've now lost 4 straight games, but they haven't been close. 7-4 against Colorado, 5-3 against Ottawa, 6-3 against Tampa Bay, and then 3-0 against Detroit. So Philadelphia is losing by at least 2 to 3 goals each game. Give me the Bruins here on the puck line, +164. That's a very nice price here for the Bruins. This Flyers team is a team that we'll see what happens after maybe the All-Star break is the perfect thing to maybe clear their heads of everything going on. And then hopefully they can come back and get some goaltending. But it was a rough game for Urson. I guess only giving up 3 goals, but the last couple games before that were rough as well. So right now I'll take the Bruins here on the puck line in this game. Remember, any of my plays are not going against anyone. Okay. True. And if you already have your plays done, then yeah, we're not against each other. There should be a Bruins puck line spot, but I don't know. It's tricky. Seems like overtime. We'll see the way Philadelphia's been playing. I don't see it. Boston money line is a parlay piece. I like that. IceX says no parlays. Well, this isn't Earl Sports. No, I'm just kidding. We condone parlays at Getting Well Libertarian Friends. I'm okay with parlays. With Bruins winning in overtime. I say they win something like 4-2. Then again, I could see it being 4-0 as well. I really like Bruins and Reg. Yeah, you can go that way. Kind of in the middle there of my +164. It's probably like +100. +1 something there for Bruins and Reg. Parlays are the best. Hey, if they're done correctly, then yeah, for sure. But we will move on along to our second game of the day, which is between the Washington Capitals and Dallas Stars. Washington plus 185 to plus 200. Dallas minus 218 to minus 225. Sixes right across the board. There are a couple 6.5s, and I just remembered that I forgot to do player props. So let's rewind back to the last game. Oops, my bad. Player props for this one. Charlie Coyle, point in 7 straight games, 14 of his last 16. Coyle has been fantastic for the Bruins this year. Marchand has a point in 6 of his last 7 games and a goal in 4 straight games. Not quite sure if I'm going to pull the trigger on him to score. I want to see prices there. Most likely, Marchand to score will make my card as well. Pastrnak has a point in 6 of his last 7 games. And then for Philly, they all did not get a point in their last game, obviously, with Detroit shutting them out. But Farabee has a point in 7 of his last 8. Cam Atkinson, a point in 6 of his last 7. And Morgan Frost, a point in 5 of his last 7 games. But moving back along to this one, Washington and Dallas. Seeing sixes with the Dallas Stars, they've been an over team. They've been an over team for a while now. How these teams played recently? Well, Washington 2-4 in their last 6. They've gone over 6.5 in 3 of their last 4 games. Dallas 5-1-1 in their last 7. They've gone over 6.5 also in 3 of their last 4 games, going to overtime in 2 of their last 3. What happens when these teams have faced each other in the past? Well, Dallas 7-2 in the last 9 games between the teams. 5 of the last 6 have gone under 5.5. So most of the time we see low scoring games when these two teams face each other. Both teams trending towards the over right now. Dallas big favorites here. This is one of the games where I don't have a play. A lot of other games on the slate I like a lot more. I don't feel comfortable taking Dallas on the puck line with their they go to overtime a lot. And then again, Washington, I could see getting blown out. This Washington team looks old. They just look old. So ultimately, this game will be a pass. Looking at player props for Washington, nobody really stands out. TJ Oshie was a little bit on a hot streak there, but I'm going to stay off. For Dallas, Tyler Seguin has a point in 4 of his last 5 games. Matt Duchene has a point in 7 of his last 9. And Thomas Harley has an assist in 3 of his last 4 games. Those are the players I'll potentially be looking at, but this is probably a good pass spot on tomorrow's slate, unless you're watching this game. Ew, pass. There you go. Stars money line is a parlay piece. I could see that. Am I crazy for liking Washington plus 1.5? Not with how the Stars go to overtime. You're not crazy at all. Stars puck line? Potentially. Oh yeah, tomorrow's Hockey Day in Minnesota. I played in Hockey Day in an outdoor game. Aha. See, Robert knows. We'll be getting to that game later. But yeah, I'll be getting to that game later on. Moving on to our third game here. Be pretty quick with this one. Buffalo Sabres and the San Jose Sharks. Buffalo minus 172 to minus 192. San Jose plus 150 to plus 160. Sixes right across the board in this game. How these teams been playing recently? Buffalo 4-3 in their last 7. San Jose 4-2-1 in their last 7. So both teams playing pretty even or pretty similar right now. Buffalo 1-4-1 to a total of 6. So 1 over, 4 under, 1 push. San Jose's gone under 5.5 in 3 of their last 5 games. And the Sharks have gone to overtime in 3 of their last 4. So they've been a draw machine their last few games. Buffalo 6-2 in the last 8 meetings, including the recent game between these teams where they won 3-0. 4 overs, 2 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. I have no single plays listed here, but this is actually a complete pass. No parlay pieces, no nothing. This game I'm completely staying off of. Buffalo is a huge favorite here. Yes, they just beat the Sharks 3-0, but the Sharks team is being kind of sneaky right now. And going into the All-Star break, the Sabres, who really shouldn't be thinking about whatever vacation their players are going on, they should be thinking about how they can get their season back on track. But San Jose, well, they don't have any season to get back on track. So for them, it's basically whatever happens, happens. So this game, actually a complete pass for tomorrow. Sharks money line, says IceX, and Robert is completely on the other side saying Sabres puck line. Best of luck to both of you. I will not even know that this game exists. I will not even be paying any attention to it at all. But game I will be paying attention to, Nashville Predators and Edmonton Oilers. In this one, Nashville plus 170 to plus 177. Edmonton minus 203 to minus 210. 6.5s right across the board in this game. How these teams been playing recently? Well, unless you've been living under a rock, you should know about how Edmonton has been doing. They are 15-0-0 in their last 15 games, winning 15 games in a row, trying to get to that 17 mark and tie the Pittsburgh Penguins with 17 regular season wins in a row. Obviously, they have to win this game, and then they'll see if they can tie it after the All-Star break. Nashville 2-3 in their last 5, coming off a big win for them against Minnesota, coming back in the third period. 6 games in a row for Nashville have gone under 5.5. Edmonton to a total of 6, 0 overs, 7 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. How these teams played against each other in the past, well, it's been very one-sided. Edmonton 9-1-1 in the last 11 meetings. The last 5 games have gone over 6.5, but I have to take the under 6.5 in this one. I am upset that I didn't take it when Edmonton faced Chicago. Both teams trending towards the under, but the past history said over. I ignored how both teams have been playing recently, and I stayed off. This time, past history pointing towards the over once again, but Nashville, an under machine right now, 6 straight games under 5.5. Edmonton isn't giving up much, finding ways to win games. Potentially, this could be a Nashville team total under spot as well. I could see Edmonton keeping them to 2 goals or less. So potentially this could be a national team total under spot. But I like the full game under 6.5. I think it's too high with how both of these teams have been playing recently. Draw. Yeah. Hey, we could see the draw. Potentially. Nashville money line. Whoa. So Owen, you think that the Oilers they're just gonna lose the last game before the break, and that streak's over? And interesting. I hate it, but also I love it. All right. I don't know. I Oilers puck line. Yeah, I would go that way before Edmonton, before taking Nashville, but I like the under. Taking under with McDavid on the ice is crazy. I know, but just look at what the Oilers have done. Um, Look what they've done. Oilers 3, Blackhawks 0, and that's just one example. And actually, I can pull it up here quickly, and we can look at it here. So these teams' recent games. Nashville 3-2 in their last game, 4-1, 3-2, 2-1, 4-1. Edmonton 3-0, 4-1, 3-1, 4-2, 4-2. Edmonton's not giving up more than 2 goals. So depending on what the price is looking at for Nashville team total under 2.5, most likely that's going to be on my card tomorrow as well. It's the coach. He's definitely had an impact. And the Oilers also have stayed healthy, and they've also had some easy opponents as well. Now, I'm not going to say that's why they've won 15 in a row, but the schedule has been pretty decent to them in a lot of these spots. I should have mentioned in the last game, Kaapo Kähkönen confirmed for San Jose. And in this game, Stuart Skinner is likely. It should definitely be him. And UC Soros is projected, but he should be starting as well in this game. Moving on along to our next one, Toronto Maple Leafs and Winnipeg Jets. If you're thinking, hey, didn't these teams just face each other? They did. They just faced each other in in Toronto, a 1-0 shootout, 1-0 overtime win for the Leafs on an Austin Matthews goal in overtime. If you had the under there, well, it wasn't a sweat. We do have confirmed goaltenders for Toronto. Ilya Samsonov confirmed for his 3rd straight start. Up and down season for him, but his last 2 games, he stopped 48 of 49 shots, obviously including the shutout against this Winnipeg Jets team, who is struggling to score lately. Nobody confirmed for them. I'm assuming it would be Connor Hellebuck in this game. Looking at the odds here, Toronto plus 105 to plus 114. Winnipeg minus 125 to minus 137. 6.5s and 6s available here. Toronto 3-4-1 in their last 8. Winnipeg 2-2-1 in their last 5. So both around 500 basically their last few games. Toronto's gone under 4.5 in 2 straight games. Winnipeg 0-6-1 to a total 6, so no overs, 6 unders, 1 game finish with 6 goals. Winnipeg's gone to overtime in 2 of their last 3. Toronto went to overtime, obviously, in the last game. Toronto 6-2 in the last 8 games between the teams. And the last 3 have all gone under 5.5. I hate to do it because I don't normally take unders at all. But here we go, a back-to-back under. I know these teams just faced each other and it was 0-0 going to overtime. I don't expect it to be that low scoring again, but have to go with the under 6.5 here. Winnipeg's offense has completely dried up, and this Toronto team is playing low scoring games as well. So as much as I really don't want to, I have to. Here in this game. Winnipeg in their last game, 1-0. They lost 4-1 to Boston previously to that. 2-1 win against Ottawa. 4-2 against the Islanders. They lost 2-0 against Philly. Toronto, 1-0. 3-1 win before that. A couple over games with Vancouver and Calgary. 6-4 and 4-3, and then 4-2 in Edmonton. But looking at this game, I think we get something like 3-2 or 3-1 in this game. So I have to take the under 6.5 here again. Looking at player props, obviously not a lot because I do see a lower scoring game. I just remembered that I forgot to do player props in the last game. So rewind back to this one. Roman Josi, an assist in 9 of his last 11, at least 3 shots on goal in 5 of his last 6 games. Broken record, McDavid, a point in 14 of his last 15, at least 5 shots on goal in 4 of his last 5. So McDavid is shooting the puck a lot. Draisaitl on the top line with McDavid. Once again, he's got a point in 5 of his last 6 games. Of course, I like the under, so not heavy on props there. Back to this one. Matthews has a point in 5 straight games, a goal in 4 of 5. Mitch Marner has a point in 5 of his last 6 games. and nobody on Winnipeg is on any kind of scoring streak right now. But Nikolai Ehlers has at least 3 shots on goal in 8 of his last 9 games. Kyle Connor has at least 3 shots on goal in 8 of his last 9 games, and at least 4 shots on goal in 6 of his last 8. So I'd be looking at Ehlers and Connor for shot props, and Matthews and Marner for point props. But again, not heavy on points here because I do like the under. Leafs will win. All right. I can see that. And I wouldn't be sad to see Winnipeg lose. I don't know how, though. I'll see. Okay. Leafs money line. All right. McDavid, that's how. Probably. Give me the Leafs. All right. Oh, wait. Leafs are the dog. There you go. So the money line. Yeah, they are. Nick says, nice surprise opening YouTube and seeing Terry live again. Nice slate tomorrow. Yes, Nick, a very nice slate. So I'm going to go over it tonight. Nice and early before lines move. I'm working, so you haven't looked at lines at all. Oh, well, there you go. You have not. All right. Well, you'll see the lines as I go through each game. But we'll move on along to the next one here, which does involve a team that's playing tonight. We have the Montreal Canadiens, Pittsburgh Penguins here in this one. Montreal plus 165 to plus 184. Pittsburgh minus 200 to minus 225. 6.5s right across the board in this game. Of course, Pittsburgh has to play Florida tonight. So this will be the second night of a back-to-back for them. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games heading into their game with Florida here in about an hour and a half. And then they face Montreal tomorrow. Montreal 3-3 in their last 6. 4 of their last 6 games have gone over 6.5. And Montreal isn't really a team that Pittsburgh wants to face, I don't think. Montreal 6-2-1 in the last 9 games between the teams. 5 of the last 6 games have been high scoring, going over 6.5. And 3 of the last 4 meetings between the teams have gone to overtime. So we've seen high scoring games going to overtime. Montreal usually finding a way to win here. So Montreal plus 184 favorites, or plus 184 dogs at Montreal is pretty attractive here. But no single plays for me right now, ultimately, in this game. Montreal just got a big win against the Islanders. I know it's the Islanders, so is it really a big win? But just with Patrick Roy coming and Montreal getting that win, that's big for them. Now coming to Pittsburgh, I don't know. I don't know about the side. Players, we'll have to see what happens with Pittsburgh tonight. But as I said on today's show, Crosby on a 5-game point streak. Erik Karlsson has a point in 9 straight games, so he'll try to make it 10 before this game tomorrow. For Montreal, Cole Caulfield. He has been the man for Montreal recently. 8 straight games with a point. 6 of his last 7 games, he has a goal. So most likely I'm going to take him for a goal as well. At least 3 shots on goal in 7 of his last 8 games. So he has been shooting the puck a lot. And Sean Monahan has an assist in 5 of his last 6 games. And yes, I'm going to make it official. I'm going to take Caulfield for a goal. Not sure what the price is. I will have to look at it, but that will be my official play in this game is Cole Caulfield to score. He's just been on a heater. And somehow I've missed it. So I'll jump on now and hope it's not too late. Super pass. All right. Tonight I have Rangers minus 1.5, draw in the Pens game, and Blues money line. All right. Well, I'm against you on Rangers minus 1.5, and Kings game go over, and hopefully Florida wins. After the Pens win it in overtime, no thanks. No, give me Florida in overtime tonight. If it has to go to overtime. Pens are crumbling. They could barely keep Malkin. I guess so, yeah. No, it's not a big win. It's the Islanders, Terry. I know. But they beat Patrick Waugh, and for Montreal, really any win is a big win because they're not really having the best season. So we'll just give it to them as a big win. Peas and the Pens tonight. Yes, sounds good. Seeing Caulfield at plus 160 for tomorrow. Yeah, that's a great price. He's got a goal in 6 of his last 7. So yes, I'm definitely on that. I'll be pulling the trigger after the show. FanDuel. Yes. And I know I'm doing the show a day early. Well, a few out like the night before. If I have any other plays, any other player props, go to the spreadsheet, which is in the description of this video. And then when you look at the player section, you'll see it highlighted in green. That means it's a single play for me. So any changes, check the spreadsheet in the description of the video. All the stats I'm giving out on the show are all in the spreadsheet if you want to check them out there as well. But thanks, Nick, for letting me know. That's a great price. It really is. We'll move on along to our next game, which Robert and Owen are going to want to talk about, and that's the Arizona Coyotes and the Carolina Hurricanes. Arizona plus 190 to plus 210. Carolina minus 230 to minus 250. Sixes and 6.5s available here in this game. I don't believe we have confirmed goaltenders for the last game. It will be Jake Allen from Montreal. Nobody confirmed yet for this game. How have these teams been playing recently? Well, Arizona has lost 4 of their last 6 games, 3 straight games over 6.5. Carolina has won 5 of their last 7, 3 overs, 3 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. Carolina 6-1 in the last 7 games between the teams, 3 of the last 5 games going over 6.5. And it has not been a fun start for the Coyotes on this road trip so far. 6-2 loss in Florida, 6-3 loss in Tampa, and now they have to face Carolina. And this will be their 3rd game in 4 nights, and it's just incredibly bad scheduling spot. It is also the 3rd game in 4 nights for Carolina, but they were at home their last game and at home again this game. Give me the Hurricanes on the puck line, plus 105. Arizona is just both goaltenders gave up 6 goals, or they at least gave up 6 goals in the game, losing by 4 and by 3. This is just not a good spot for Arizona. Yes, the Hurricanes have won back-to-back games 3-2, but I like this spot here for them to cover the puck line at home. This Coyotes team is just in trouble right now. Also, Carolina has played very well against the Yotes recently. Player props for Arizona, Clayton Keller, point in 9 of his last 10. I could see him continuing that here. For the Hurricanes, no big surprise, Sebastian Aho, a point in 12 of his last 14 games. And Teuvo Teravainen, back-to-back games with a goal and an assist. So really going to be looking at his point prop. He is on the top line now with Aho. So I'll check out his point prop tomorrow. See what that's at. Good parlay piece for sure. If I get to a single play, it'll be tough to choose between goal and assist. Maybe I'll split and do half and half. We'll have to see there. But playing pretty good the last 2 games with Aho. But really, anyone who plays with Sebastian Aho should play pretty well because he is an elite player. Reinhardt is in the 3rd line. For Florida, it's tough. Different places have the different lines considered differently. Either Reinhardt's the 1st or the 3rd line, but it's not going to be a huge difference in ice time. Plus, he is on the power play and penalty kill as well. Yotes money line. Interesting. I don't know. I don't like this spot for them. It's just 3 games in 4 days, and you've already got smashed twice, and now you have the break coming up. The Coyotes might be thinking about wherever they're going for vacation. Canes and Reg. I can see it. Canes money line parlay with the Wild. Interesting. Aho over 1.5 points. Interesting as well. Yotes all have their dogs on the trip. Kidding. LOL. Jarvis Point. I don't know about that. He got moved to the third line. So he's off the line with Aho. He got a demotion to the third line. So probably gonna stay away from Jarvis, I think. Amazing choice, Terry. Shocking that you would like my Hurricanes puck line play, Owen. I would never have guessed that ever. Owen, you have revealed my trap card reverse. Uh-oh, there you go. Looking upwards at Ice X. Nature's Point could go that way as well. Nature's is that dude. There you go. He's that dude. But we will move on along to our next game. We don't have confirmed goaltenders for the one we just talked about. Here, another team that's going to be on the second night of a back-to-back. The Rangers heading to Ottawa. Of course, they're at home tonight against Vegas, the New York Rangers, and now they have to travel across the border to Ottawa to face the Sens. Rangers minus 120 to minus 125. Ottawa plus 100 to plus 116. 6.5s right across the board. Before I get to how these teams have played recently, seeing the Rangers minus 120 against Ottawa, right off the bat, it seems like when people talk about a trap line, this is it. I know Ottawa's played better recently, but the Rangers at minus 120, how are people not going to jump all over that? That just seems like the book setting a little bit of a trap here. Do I believe in trap lines? Not really. So that's all I have to say there. But this just seems too low. Too low. And yeah, the Rangers aren't playing well. Yeah, it's a back-to-back. Yeah, they have to travel. And yeah, Ottawa's playing well recently, but still, I think they should be bigger favorites in this. Rangers minus 120 to minus 125, plus 100 to plus 116 for Ottawa, 6.5s across the board. It should be Jonathan Quick here on the second night of a back-to-back. However, with the All-Star break coming up, we could see some goaltenders play on back-to-backs here. Jonas Corposalo should be playing for Ottawa. How these teams played recently? Well, obviously the Rangers playing tonight, so they will have to play again for this game. Ottawa 4-1-2 in their last 7 games. They've gone under 5.5 in 3 of their last 4. Ottawa's won the last 3 games between the teams, with the last 2 games going over 6.5. Ultimately, I'm staying off this game right now. This is a spot I need to see what happens tonight. Obviously, I am on Vegas Golden Knights tonight, and I want to see how the Rangers play. And then if I add the Rangers tomorrow, I'm most likely going to be doing an AHL show tomorrow. So if I do add the Rangers, I'll let you guys know there. But I don't know. We'll have to see how tonight's game goes for them. Rangers minus 1.5 after they get smoked tonight. I could see that. Draw and Sens win. All right. Do the Rangers fly in the morning, or what's the sleep schedule here? That's a very good question. I would assume they would fly out as soon as they're done their game against Vegas. Would be my assumption, and then have to do the whole border thing, and yeah, not a good scheduling spot for them. That's for sure. Looking at props before I bring up that game. Looking at props for the Rangers. Obviously, I want to see what happens tonight. But players I was looking at today, Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider, and Fox. Obviously, the big name guys. We'll see how they do tonight. Check the spreadsheet for any players I like for tomorrow. I'll have them on the Saturday section after tonight's game. And then for Ottawa, Tim Stützle, 0.4 of his last 5. But I don't really trust anybody on the Sens, really. Their players have all been helping. Their offense has been spread out right across the lineup where it's so hard to pick somebody here. Mika Z will have a Hattie tonight. Will have a Hattie because he was a Sen. Very interesting. Very good point. I may definitely look at him tomorrow in this game. Going to our next one here, we got the New Jersey Devils heading to Tampa Bay to face the Lightning. New Jersey plus 125 to plus 136. Tampa Bay minus 147 to minus 155. 6.5s right across the board in this game. No confirmed goaltenders yet for this one, I don't believe. Projected to be Nico Doss against Andrei Vasilevsky. Here, how these teams have been playing recently. Well, New Jersey 3-5-1 in their last 9. 5 of their last 7 games going under 5.5. Tampa Bay 7-1 in their last 8 games. 4 over, 2 under. 1 game finished with 6 goals. Tampa Bay 11-3 in the last 14 games between the teams. They've absolutely dominated the Devils for quite a few years now. 3 straight games going over 6.5. The last 2 of the last 3 did go to overtime in this one. How to look at this game is Tampa Bay. Not only are they winning, but they are winning pretty big recently. 5-1 against Anaheim, 7-3 against Minnesota, 3-1 against Buffalo, 6-3 against Philly, 6-3 against Arizona. Now they've got this Devils team coming in here who is just struggling to score goals. Give me Tampa on the puck line. Plus 165. Nice plus price here. I think they get the job done against this Devils team that is looking forward to the break. That's for sure. And this Tampa Bay team is scoring goals in bunches right now. So looking at player props for New Jersey, nobody really stands out for me to pull the trigger on. For Tampa Bay, Kucherov has an assist in 6 of his last 7 games, at least 3 shots on goal in 5 of his last 7. Braden Point has a point in 6 of his last 7 games. Victor Hedman has a point in 5 of his last 6. And Anthony Cirelli has an assist in 4 of his last 5 games. So Tampa Bay is getting offense really from their top 2 lines and Victor Hedman lately. Tampa Bay money line. All right. I'm parlaying Canes Wild Tampa Bay minus 1.5 and the over in Vancouver for plus 1,950. Nice. Big plus price there. We'll talk about the Vancouver game. It's kind of an interesting choice there. Bolts puck line. Yes, we agree, IceX. A very nice price for that in this game. Heading on along to our next one, we have the Florida Panthers who are playing tonight, heading into New York to face the Islanders. Florida right now minus 130 to minus 142. Islanders plus 105 to plus 118. 6s and 5.5 at FanDuel in this game. No confirmed goaltenders yet for this game. How these teams have been playing recently? Well, you missed today's show. I kind of ripped on the Islanders a bit. 1-5-1 in their last 7 games. And Montreal was a good spot for them. And now they have to come home and face Florida, a team that is rolling. Not good for the Islanders. 2-2-1 to a total of 6. They've gone overtime in 2 of their last 4 games. Florida obviously plays tonight in Pittsburgh, 11-2-2 in their last 15, going over. 3 of their last 5 games over 6.5. How these teams played against each other in the past? Well, Florida 5-2 in the last 7 meetings between the teams. 2 over, 3 under, 1 game finished with 6 goals. Currently, my only play is going to be Sam Reinhart anytime goal. I know tonight's game hasn't even finished yet, but I'm going to be betting him to score again tomorrow, even if he doesn't score tonight. I'll go back to the well with him again tomorrow before the break. Will I take Florida? It very well depends on how they do tonight. I want to see how they do tonight. I could end up adding Florida here, depending on what the price is at. Right now, minus 130. If it goes much farther than that, then I won't end up pulling the trigger as a single play. But definitely Reinhardt goal once again. Panthers money line? Most likely. Most likely. Isles money line? No. I have zero interest in betting the Isles money line. They need the break too. Hopefully the break helps them. Patrick Waugh can prepare more, prepare the team more. I don't know, but they're shooting the puck a lot, and that's a good segue here into player props. For Florida, well, Reinhart, Kachuk, Verhaeghe, as I said, all on huge point streaks. For whatever reason they don't score tonight, I'll be backing them again tomorrow with how they played. Islanders, Kyle Palmieri has been shooting the puck a lot. He has at least 5 shots on goal in 4 of his last 5 games. I think he had 11 shots in the last game. So Palmieri shot prop, I don't know what it's going to be at, but I know it's not going to be 4.5. And he's done that in 4 of his last 5. So you may want to look at that prop, Kyle Palmieri. Noah Dobson has an assist in 4 straight games. Bo Horvat has a point in 4 of his last 5 and at least 4 shots on goal in 4 straight games. So Islanders players are trying to score a lot. They're just not finding the back of the net. So that's something to keep in mind as well heading into this game. We will go on along to the next one here, which is between Vegas Golden Knights and the Detroit Red Wings. Vegas minus 105 to minus 108. Detroit minus 111 to minus 115. 6s and 5.5s available here for this game. How have these? Let me check goaltenders for first. Adin Hill confirmed he will be starting tonight. Nobody confirmed for tomorrow. Coming back from injury, having that 40 of 42 save performance against the Islanders, I don't think Vegas would go back to him on a second night of the back-to-back. I would hope they would want to try to keep him healthy. So it should be Logan Thompson in this game, which is obviously a step down because Adin Hill has been absolutely fantastic this year. Vegas obviously has to play tonight, but they are 4-1 in their last 5 games, trending towards the under recently. Detroit 8-2-1 in their last 11 games, 1 over, 3 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. How these teams played against each other in the past, they faced each other 9 times. Detroit 5-4, so pretty even history against each other. 4 of the last 6 games have gone under 5.5. So we have seen lower scoring games recently when these teams have faced each other. And for me, taking Vegas tonight, but I'm fading them tomorrow. This Detroit Red Wings team, unlike the New York Rangers, are playing really well right now. And I like them to get this win here with Vegas having to travel second night of a back-to-back before the All-Star break. Detroit rested enough and waiting here for Vegas. And with Adin Hill playing tonight, that's huge for me here. Is would it be having Logan Thompson? But I don't see them starting him on a back-to-back. So Aiden Hill, that is. So I'll take the Red Wings here, minus 111. A great price for them with how they played recently. Player props. Not a whole lot here. Obviously, as I said on today's show, Vegas, their top two lines are really producing right now. So I want to see how tonight's game goes. Mark Stone, Chandler Stevenson, Jonathan Marchessault, Nicholas Waugh, Ivan Barbashev. They've all been on hot streaks. See if they can keep it going here tonight, and then I'll decide who I'm going to look at tomorrow. For the Wings, Larkin has a point in 10 straight games, so I will have him in a parlay for sure. Lucas Raymond has a point in 3 straight games for the Wings. But with the Red Wings, their heart and soul is Dylan Larkin, for sure. Robert's going to take Vegas puck line. Interesting. And Clear Niam, welcome back. Nice to see you. Wings money line for you. I agree. Ironically, I'm doing the reverse, Terry. I'm going against Vegas tonight, but you'll be on them. There we go, Isaac. Hey, everyone's got to do it differently. Excuse me while I take a drink. Okay. Hey, everyone does it differently, but it is what it is. 3 more games left. And the next one is the whole reason I'm doing this show at all. No, I'm kidding. But obviously, I want to talk about this next game. Anaheim Ducks are heading into Minnesota to face the Wild. Anaheim plus 180 to plus 195. Minnesota minus 219 to minus 250. Sixes right across the board in this game. How these teams have been playing recently? Well, Anaheim 2-5-1 in their last 8 games. 5 overs, 1 under, 2 games finished with 6 goals. Minnesota 4-2 in their last 6 games. 4 of their last 5 games over 6.5. Didn't go over in their last game, partly because they play the Nashville Predators, who are just on a huge under streak right now. How these teams played against each other in the past? Well, it's the biggest one-sided history stat on this Saturday slate. Minnesota 14-1 in the last 15 games against Anaheim. They've covered the super puck line, so winning by 3 or more in 3 of the last 4 games against the Ducks. And this game, to most people that don't follow Minnesota, won't know, but it is Hockey Day, Minnesota, this tomorrow for this game, which is a state holiday celebrating hockey in the state. A lot of high school teams play, and then the Wild always finish the slate off. Why am I mentioning this? Well, the Wild 13-2-1 on Hockey Day, Minnesota. For whatever reason, the team comes to play on Hockey Day, Minnesota. This team has dominated the Ducks now for years. 3 of the last 5 games between the teams have gone over 6.5. The Wild coming off a very upsetting win against Nashville. I think they absolutely take it to this Ducks team. Give me the Wild puck line plus 116. I'll probably be sprinkling the super puck line at minus 2.5 as well. And I don't care what the price is. Give me Brock Faber to get a point. Plus 110 in his last game. Should be around plus 100. As long as it's not like minus 140, which it wouldn't be. I will take Faber. Why? Why will I take Faber? Well, he is on a 6-game point streak, but he's also a hometown Minnesota kid. He knows about Hockey Day Minnesota more than anyone else on this team. He's played in Hockey Day before. Now he's playing on it for his hometown team. He's on a heater right now on the top power play, on the top D pair. Give me Faber to get a point. My favorite play of the day, Brock Faber to get a point. Give me the Wild puck line. They bounce back tomorrow in dominant fashion against this Anaheim Ducks on Hockey Day. Minnesota. Ducks money line. Well, there we go. There we go. Disagreement. No, I'm kidding. LOL, just kidding. You have no idea. Hey, there you go. Wild money line for 10,000 units. Maybe slow it down a little bit there. A little bit there. Might have just tempted you on the Ducks. Don't do it, I6. Don't do it. Parlay the wild money line with anything you want. Hockey Day, Minnesota. It is a thing. It is a thing. I swear it is a thing. Robert is really tempting you even more. Don't do it, I6. Don't. Kaprizov, Boldy goals over 1.5 points. All right. So, Robert really likes this. IceX is tempting me to go to Hockey Day, Minnesota and watch them win. There you go. He could go. Fortunately, I can't where I live. Way too far away. Yeah, there you go. Gophers -1.5 versus Michigan State Hockey Day. Or Gophers -1.5 versus Michigan State Hockey Day, Minnesota. And as Robert's saying, it really is a big deal for the state. I know to everyone else it's not a big deal, but it is. There you go. NCAA hockey. Thanks. I often watch after the live, so you don't see me that often, but still enjoying there. So keep it up, Terry. Thank you. Much appreciated. And yeah, a lot of people watch after the show is done. And then obviously at this time slate, we'll have different people that we haven't seen for a while. So it's nice to see you. And that is not all I have to say about this game. Player props. If you want some Ducks props, there's two guys, Adam Henrique, Troy Terry. They both have points in 8 of their last 10 games. They will most likely get a point. I don't see the Ducks getting shut out in this game. For Minnesota, as I said, Brock Faber, who I've just said is my favorite play of the day. Point in 6 straight games. Should be, I'm hoping, around plus 100 for a point in this game. Joel Erikssonek, he's got a point in 8 of his last 9 games. He's on an absolute heater right now, and he's got a goal in 5 of his last 6 games. Depending on what the price is, I'm going to be on him to score as well. Haven't pulled the trigger on that yet. And Kirill Kaprizov has a point in 11 of his last 13 games in this one. Vegas Wings open at -110, -110 at your book. Interesting. Yeah. Give me Detroit. Give me Detroit. But we've got 2 more games left, and I'll be kind of quicker with these ones. So there you go. Chicago Blackhawks, Calgary Flames. Chicago +230 to +249. Calgary -275 to -300. Sixes right across the board in this game. How are these teams playing recently? Well, Chicago has lost 7 of their last 9 games, going under 5.5 in 7 of their last 9. Calgary's lost 4 in a row, going over 6.5 in 3 of those 4 games. Chicago has won the last 4 games between the teams. 6 overs, no unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. So when these teams have played each other, we've seen high-scoring games with Chicago winning. Chicago +249, +230. Am I going to be taking the Blackhawks? No. But are the Blackhawks live in this game? I think so. I think people took the Blackhawks one game too early in taking them against Edmonton. I know the price was so great, but I think this could be a spot where the Blackhawks win. I just can't put my own money on it, so I'm not necessarily going to recommend you guys to do it, but this seems like a spot for the Hawks if there was one. You're still fading the Flames? Blackhawks money line. I can see it. But one more game left, and this one's pretty interesting, actually. We've got the Columbus Blue Jackets heading to Vancouver. Columbus +235 to +250. Vancouver -285 to -300. 6.5s right across the board in this one. And you might be saying, why didn't you mention player props for the last game, Chicago, Calgary? Because I have none. 2 teams that I'm not going anywhere near props. For this game, No one in Columbus really stands out. For Vancouver, JT Miller has an assist in 4 of his last 5. Quinn Hughes has a point in 5 straight games. Elias Pettersson has a goal in 7 of his last 10 games. But Pettersson doesn't have a goal. It doesn't have any points at all in his last 2 games. I do think that he has a big game here in this one, though. Um, I don't want to say he got called out by his coach, but his coach mentioned that he could play better. The media went crazy on it. And then Talkett was basically saying how he might not really want to say everything to the media because of how they react to things, obviously. So Pedersen knows that he has to be better, but he's been a huge reason why this team is where they are at all. So I'm not going to give him slack um, because he has no points the last 2 games. But watch him have a big game here. I think he does. I think he does. So I'll probably end up going back to his goal scoring prop here. Goal in 7 of his last 10 games. How these teams been playing recently? Columbus 2-4-1 in their last 7. 4 of their last 7 games over 6.5. Vancouver 8-0-2 in their last 10. 3 of their last 5 over 6.5. 3 of their last 7 going to overtime. And Columbus, for some reason, plays well against Vancouver. 6-2 in the last 8 games between the teams. Last 4 games all going over 6.5. 2 of the last 3 going overtime. So with the past history, overtime with Vancouver going to overtime lately keeps me off the side. Keeps me off of Vancouver here. Probably end up getting to player props. I think it was Robert who, yeah, you said you were parlaying the over 6.5, and I can see why. With stats have been pointing, the stats point that way, so I can see it. Columbus plus 1.5 could be a way to go if you want to look at Columbus here. This shit is going overtime again, and I could see it. I could see it. Really, we could have 2 live dogs potentially here at the end of the night in the Hawks and the Blue Jackets, but my money won't be on them. But I think we see one of them win. I think probably Chicago, but I don't think Vancouver necessarily loses. But hey, we'll see. That is the show for tomorrow. NHL plays. Most likely, I'll be doing an AHL show tomorrow. So if any extra plays, I'll mention them there. Anything else, check the spreadsheet in the description of this video. For anything else, it'll be in green. If I'm adding it for player props, it means I'm betting it if it's in green. So thanks everyone for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate all the support. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Obviously, I give out my NHL plays here on the show, but if you want my premium plays without NHL around, it's going to be basketball. So you'll be able to get my NBA plays up on Picks and Parlays. Link is in the description below. If you want my NFL plays, I'm going to have at least one for Sunday. You can get that at Picks and Parlays as well in the description below. But thank you everyone for watching. Yes, sir, Terry. Best of luck, everyone, and we'll see you most likely tomorrow for an NHL or AHL show. Best of luck, guys.